These are some of the payments that have come into my bank account in the last couple of months. And honestly, I'd say for the past 6 months now, I've been earning over $15,000 in revenue every single month for my small business as a social media manager. And I'm confident that I'll be earning that, if not more, over the next year. Because once you hit that first 10K, I promise you it gets so much easier to get to 15 and 20 and above. Because there's only a few things that you need to know. And once you do learn and implement them, making 5 to 6 figures a month becomes so much easier. There's actually this famous quote from Charlie Munger, I think that's how you pronounce his name, vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, that I really resonate with. The first $100,000 is but $1 million is easy. And a lot of that is due to experience. Once you figure out how to create that wealth, you just keep repeating the same processes and doing more of what you're already doing, and the money kind of just starts to roll in. Which is why I'm making this video to teach you how I make 15K a month as a small business owner / social media manager. If you're new here, my name is Nyla. I'm a top-rated social media manager on Upwork with a 100% job success score. I'm also the co-founder of my content creation agency, Scroll Source, alongside my husband. For me, goal setting was so important when it came to hitting that first 10K month. And it's not just about setting goals, but it's about setting systems to get to that goal. Because a goal gives you direction for where you want to go, but a system ensures that you're progressing towards that goal. So the way I set my goals is like a roadmap. I have this whiteboard in my office where right at the top, I write my yearly goals. And my yearly goals would include around 5 things that I want to achieve for that year. So for example, this year, one of my goals is to have 5 20K months. And then under those yearly goals, I would write my goals for the first quarter of the year. And whatever I want to achieve in the first quarter of the year has to reflect and contribute towards my yearly goals. So obviously I want to hit 5 20K months this year. So I need to make sure that in Q1 of this year that I hire at least 1 new team member and I take on around 2 to 3 more clients. And then what I do is I break it down even further into monthly goals. So my goals for January is to put a job post out for a new hire and start interviewing candidates. And in January, I need to take on at least 1 new client. And then lastly, on my laptop, every single week, I will set myself weekly targets, and every single week, I need to be working towards fulfilling my monthly goals. So for example, for this week, one of my targets is to create a job application for a new social media manager to join my team. And then I also need to plan, film, and edit 5 new short form content ideas for my Instagram so that I can create more brand awareness and bring in more clients. The reason I run my goal system like this is because sometimes really large goals like hitting a 20K month can feel really huge and overwhelming, and sometimes you just don't know where to start or how to get to that. And it can also feel very unattainable when you see, okay, my goal is to hit 20K months and it's this one massive goal in this huge empty space. But by creating smaller tasks that you can accomplish daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly, it makes it feel so much easier to accomplish, and every single day you know that whatever you're doing is consistently contributing towards the bigger goal. And also having that timeline with deadlines helps hold you accountable to make sure that you are achieving and reaching those goals. A huge problem that I used to have before when I was goal setting is I would always fall off track and get distracted by other things, and then I would forget to focus on what actually needs to get done. Or I just wouldn't know where to start or how to start getting closer and closer to the things that I want to achieve. But with this system, I can make sure that every single day I am doing something to get a step closer to the bigger goals. Because you are more likely to hit the huge, big income goals that you have from doing the small little things every single day over a long period of time, rather than rushing to do a million things at once and then falling off track because you get burnt out or you lose sight of what you're trying to do. Now, every single week, I look at my goals for the month on my whiteboard and I think to myself, what can I do this week or what can I do today to make sure that I'm working towards that? I've really found so much success in this process because I've also got a newborn little baby now as well. while, so sometimes it can really feel quite difficult and hard, and it can feel like I'm not really getting anything accomplished. But at least now I know that I'm doing something every single day on my roadmap. Even if it takes longer to get to my final destination, I know that every single day I'm a little bit closer to getting there. Another thing I did to hit that first 10K and 15K month is I focused on tasks that were directly income generating. And if it didn't directly generate me income, then I would try my best to outsource those tasks. Or what I would do is I would set up automated systems for them. So the first thing I did is sit down and determine exactly what tasks I do in my business that directly bring me new income or more income. And as a social media manager, the most income generating tasks for me was creating content for my social media platforms to bring in new leads. Closing sales with new customers was also a direct income generating task, and keeping and building relationships with my current clients also guaranteed that I had recurring income every single month. Also, building my team directly impacted the income that was coming into my business. And the tasks that didn't directly generate income were things like doing admin work, was actually doing the content plans for my clients, scheduling content for clients, designing and editing content. Those kind of things weren't actually bringing me income in directly into my business. So these sorts of tasks, yes, they do support generating revenue, but they don't directly bring in more revenue. So by prioritizing the high value tasks just for you to do, and then delegating or automating all the other tasks, you're freeing up time to concentrate on things that directly impact your bottom line. And if you want to figure out exactly what kind of tasks in your business bring you the most money, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. Does this specific task directly lead to sales or revenue? Will this action that I'm about to do help me acquire or retain paying customers? Is this task something that only I can effectively do right now? And if the answer to all those questions is yes, then that's a high value task that you should be focusing on. Now I actually want to talk a little bit more about building out your team and delegating tasks in your business. Every successful entrepreneur realizes at some point that they can't do it all alone. And in order to accelerate their growth, they understand and they realize that they need to start outsourcing. And whilst it seems like the most obvious thing to do for your business if you want to grow is to outsource, it can be one of the most difficult things to do. I definitely found it very hard. I was afraid to hire my first team member for quite a few reasons. Number one is I was scared that if my business was going to fail, I'd have to let them go, and I thought that would just be so embarrassing. Number two was I was worried that I wouldn't have enough work for them to fill up their time. Number three, I was afraid that I wasn't going to have enough money coming into my business to actually pay them. And lastly, I didn't want to hire someone and have the responsibility for their livelihood. I think this was the most terrifying one for me, that I was basically going to be responsible for their survival. Just the idea of that was very overwhelming and scary. So firstly, if you're at a stage in your little business where you're at capacity, let's say you're earning 3, 4, 5,000 a month, but you're still doing it all by yourself, and you're really scared to take that leap and hire someone to help you run your business, what I want you to start doing from now is put a little bit of money away every single month so you can save up for your new hire. So that when it does come to hiring help, you already have a stash of money put to the side specifically for them. Let's say for the first 3 months of you employing them. So at least now you're able to guarantee that you have enough money in the bank to pay this person that you're hiring for your business for the first 3 months. So by consistently saving up this money, you're not only building like financial security, but you're also mentally preparing yourself to make that first step and hire your first employee. Doing it this way definitely gave me peace of mind. And then this safety net, it kind of takes the pressure off both of you and of your new hire. And then it allows you to now focus on training them, setting them up in your business without feeling panicky about cash flow. And remember that your first hire doesn't have to be like permanent or full-time. You can start with a freelancer on a project basis, or even like a part-time assistant just for a few hours in the week. By hiring a freelancer, it allows you to kind of just test the waters and to see if it's actually valuable or beneficial for your business. You really don't need to commit to a hire from the get-go, and you can communicate that when you are hiring. The next thing that you want to do, and what really helped me make that first 10 and 15K, is create manuals for every single part in your business. And you want to do this before you even start thinking about hiring. Creating processes and documenting every single thing that you do in your business. Number one, it makes it easier to hand off jobs to other people that you're hiring. And number two is you're kind of like future-proofing your business to scale in the future. Without a clear set of guidelines or playbook for every process inside your business, you're setting yourself up for inconsistency and mistakes that could really just cost you customers and clients, and it's definitely going to slow down your growth. I have literally documented every single process in my business. I literally have a document for things like how to find social media trends. I have a document for how to schedule content for every single client. I have a document for how to write a post plan for every single client, how to onboard a new client. So now that when I do hire someone on my team, I can just basically give them this document to go through and follow the steps rather than having to explain it to them every single time. This also makes sure that the quality of my service stays the same and it's not reliant anymore on me doing the work. So now everything I know can be passed down to the next person. And anyone that works for me can maintain the same quality of work. So whilst they follow the manuals and complete the other tasks in my business, I can work to bring on new clients, continue my learning to grow my business and scale. It is honestly these specific steps that I took in my business that has helped me scale to 5 figures every single month. So if you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, then please let YouTube know by clicking the like button, because then YouTube will push it to more people just like you that are also trying to grow their business. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, then comment 15K in the comments below so that I know you've watched all the way to the end. And I shall see you next week if you're subscribed.